Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is another episode of the C++ Asteroids game series. And in this video we are going to continue by actually implementing the asteroid in our game, because currently our game does not actually have any asteroids, so we need to implement the asteroids, and that is what we are going to do in this video. So you can see that we have got our player class here. Our asteroid class is going to be a bit similar but also a bit different. What I'm going to do is just copy this first of all, then let's implement it down here, paste it again. But we are going to change the name of this class to asteroid, asteroid, like that. And then we are going to copy this asteroid and make sure that the constructor is named appropriately as well. And yes, that means that we do have a little bit of this. I'm going to make it positioned at 300 so that it's a bit far away from the player, perhaps 200 by 200, or let's make it 700 by 300, just so that it's on the other side of the screen and we can kind of see it better. Now after that we have got our vertex array here, and we are going to leave it at that, but we are going to completely remove the update function right now, because the enemy update logic is going to be completely different from the player, and also we don't need the shoot timer anymore. But apart from that, the other things are going to be quite similar, in fact. Because it's also using vector graphics, and we are not using anything else, just vector graphics. And we like to basically modify these points here so that they represent, instead of a player, they represent an asteroid. So before we do that, we are going to entities dot push. We are going to push into entities a new enemy at the very start of the game. Of course we need an enemy spawning system, but we'll do that later. Actually not enemy, it's called asteroid, and we'll have a asteroid spawning system later, but for now let's leave it at that. And let's run this and see what happens. Hopefully we should get a copy of the player, exact copy, on the other side of the screen, and you can see that it does happen. We do get that copy that we were looking for. I'm going to position it a bit further away here, and we now need to modify these points so that they represent an asteroid. Now first thing we'll need to do is that this asteroid is going to have more than 4 points, and we don't want them to be filled, so I'm going to change this to be line strip. What that means is that it will not be like a quad that is going to be filled, but instead it's going to be a line strip which can have any number of lines in it. So the first point is going to define the start of the line, then the end point is then the other point is going to define the end of the line, and the third point is going to represent the other part of the line. So after this will become the starting vertex, and this will become the ending vertex. Now we just need to modify these points so that they represent an asteroid correctly. Now I have removed the array here, and I have changed the array type to be line strip, as I said before, and we are going to start filling the array from the beginning. So the first position I'm going to set it to -20 and 20, and the second position I'm going to set it to -25 and 5, and just like that I'm going to fill the other positions. Now if you want my design of the asteroid, you can copy these values, and if you do not want that, then what you can do is try to, for example, plot it out on paper or on some actual application, and then have those coordinates be like in your program, because it's a bit hard to imagine the program. So what I would prefer is to draw it out in some vector drawing program that would allow you to measure some things, or plot it out on paper. That also works quite well. And since you can see right now our last index is 9, which means that we have got around 10 points in our asteroid. However, it is actually incorrect, because labeling it with 10 would mean that our asteroid would actually be open, which means one side of it will not be displayed correctly. So we need to actually make this 11 and set the last index to be equal to the first index in order to close the asteroid, because there is no support for a default kind of shape, like for example a polygon. We need to connect in SFML. There is no such thing. If I open up this here, you can see that it consists of points, lines, line strip, triangles, triangle strip, triangle fan, and quads. Does not consist of polygon. For that reason we'll need to have the polygon here separately. So like that it should work now. And actually a bit of a problem, you can see we put the index 8 twice here, so this needs to be 9, this 10, and this 11, and the actual size needs to be 12. Now I actually tested this earlier and found out that this is a bit too small of a size, so I'll just multiply each value by 2 so that it's kind of a bit larger. And what you should see is when I run this, we get an asteroid looking shape on one side of our screen. If you like this, you can keep your vertices that way, and of course you can tweak them to your own liking. For example, I feel this 0 0 vertex is a bit too much towards the inside, so let's go ahead and change that so that instead of being at 0 0, it's at 0 20, for example. Actually maybe not 20, yeah, let's actually perhaps not 20, 10. Let's save that and let's go ahead and run this and see whether that looks better. And you should see that it well, actually I intended to modify the x value, not the y value, so I'm going to set the x value, not the y value, to be 10, and I'll leave the y value as is. And now let's see if that looks better. And yeah, that I think is a bit better, and it is quite nice according to my own style. And of course you can change this to meet your own needs. And of course currently our asteroid does not do anything, it's just standing there and we can cross over it, and it does not seem to do a lot. So in the next video we'll be implementing the functionality for the asteroid so that it can do bunch of stuff. And before we end this video, one more thing I like to do is go under player, and instead of having quads here, I'm going to also change this to be line strip. The reason for that is because well, I would like the player to be not filled actually, so it will only display the outlines of the player. So of course we need to connect the last vertex back to the first one for this. So vertex array 4 dot position is equal to array 0 dot position. Afterwards we can say that well, we have got basically the same player, but now it's a bit different in the sense that well, it's now not going to be filled. Yeah, that's more like what I was looking for. And now we have got a player that is made up of lines, and an asteroid that is made up of line, which means that we have our game currently consists of only vector graphics, no raster graphics, and no pictures at all, only vector graphics. So yeah guys, this is pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one, in which we'll start to implement the asteroids functionality. So stay tuned for that, and make sure to like and subscribe as well, and share this video with other people as well, and bye.